The psychedelic revolution is here. If you want to integrate your visionary experiences into your purpose, get clear on your entrepreneurial path, and help people while you do what you love, then this podcast is for you. Welcome to The Psychedelic Entrepreneur, medicine for these times. I'm your host, Beth Weinstein. I'm a spiritual business coach, 3-time entrepreneur, and a lifelong student of psychedelics and sacred plant medicines. You carry your own unique medicine, and your medicine is what we need for these times. This podcast will help you to share your medicine so you can create transformation in the world. Listen in on conversations with psychedelic leaders, changemakers, and conscious entrepreneurs who are living proof that a better world is possible when you follow your heart and live in alignment with your soul. Hey there, welcome back. Today, I am inspired to share with you a little bit of my opinion on building your psychedelic business. And what prompted this was that today, someone who I do not know at all from the internet, from social media, reached out to me and asked me to be a referral partner for her psychedelic business. I think she might follow me or knows me from, Facebook or Instagram or whatever, but I've never met her. I've never worked with her. I've never met anyone else who's worked with her. And to be honest, I don't really know much about her path at all. And she sent me a direct message asking me to be a referral for her clients, meaning, hey, if you know anyone who needs psychedelic therapy or psychedelic facilitation or whatever it is she does, I think she does one-on-one psychedelic work with people privately and obviously illegally because she's not located in a legal state. And she asked me to refer people to her and then she would give me a financial kickback. So there's nothing wrong with this, right? Here's the thing. I refer people a lot and I tell my clients, look, it's okay to offer someone a referral fee back if they genuinely want to refer you. But to have a total stranger reach out and say, hey, Beth, would you like to send people to me? I'll give you some money back. Especially when it comes to a psychedelic business, I find this to be quite interesting. And here's what I have to say about referral businesses or business referrals and this form of marketing. So I actually give a very large, hefty cash referral fee to anybody that refers people into my group mastermind program or my group intensive program or even private coaching. But I do not advertise this to the public. The people that do refer others to one of those programs are usually people who know me personally or people who've been inside of my program, like a lot of my clients or former clients, or someone who's quite a good friend and knows, how I hold my work. But I would never really expect a random stranger from the internet to just refer random people to me and then expect money. There's this part of me that's like, well, I don't really expect people to refer people to me unless they actually know a decent amount about my work. So what prompted this discussion was that I find it interesting in the psychedelic space that someone wants to grow their business by asking strangers to send them clients. And here's the thing. This is okay if it were maybe a life coach or a mindset training program or something for everybody or something that maybe just doesn't go as deep into trauma and, a lot of deep stuff that can surface during psychedelic experiences, especially during one-on-one psychedelic therapy or underground psychedelic therapy. And, for example, there's this famous coach out there who gives referral fees to her program, and then she gets like thousands of people in her program, and her program costs, I don't know, like $2,000 or something. And everybody just refers people because it's like a money maker. It's called affiliate marketing. It's a thing, right? It's like me saying, hey, here's the link to Double Blind's class on how to grow your own mushrooms. And then I get, $25 back for every person that clicks on that link. Okay, that's one thing. But when it's someone working in the realm of one-on-one psychedelic work or even group ceremonial work or any kind of psychedelic facilitation work or even psychedelic integration, then, this is what I said to this person. I said, look, I'm very selective about who I refer out. I only refer out either people who I personally know or my clients or people who I've worked with myself. So I don't refer to random strangers on the internet, not unless it's someone that I actually know, but then they're not a random stranger. And all I could think to myself when this person asked me to be a referral partner for her psychedelic business, all I could think was like, you know what? If this is how you're trying to grow your business and get it off the ground, there's actually a much better way that I teach. And it also really made me think about, how potentially weird and risky and kind of scary it might be to offer someone money for referrals to psychedelic therapy or psychedelic facilitation or even psychedelic integration work. Because with psychedelics, we're dealing with a whole new level of coaching and healing. It's not the same as like, hey, I want to go learn how to, I don't know, clear my chakras and, open up my third eye and learn how to work with my psychic powers. Like that's maybe not as, not to say it's not deep, it's pretty deep work, but it's not the same as like, hey, I'm recommending a random person to go sit with you one-on-one for 5 to 7 hours and process through, 40 years of trauma and intergenerational trauma and ancestral and collective trauma. This is like no joke work that we're talking about here. So there's this part of me that's really questioning, like, is referrals to grow your business really the best way within the psychedelic realm? And as you can hear from my personal opinion on this, no, probably not. What this person needs, and this is what I teach inside of my group mastermind program and my intensive program and really all my coaching, this person really needs to know the foundations of how to actually start and grow her business the right way and build trusting relationships with other people. Essentially, even if it's a life coach or, mindset training program, the people who I refer, and I do refer people to some of these programs, they're people who I've literally experienced myself or worked with myself or paid for myself. So every teacher I bring into my group mastermind program, because I do bring in a lot of special guest teachers who are amazing people, they are people that I've paid money to for myself, for my own business, for my life. They're people whose work I know well and trust. And they're people who, like let's say I hadn't worked with them, but I actually have. They're people who I know well enough to know that they can really hold the kind of container that they do hold. So, today's interaction with this woman, and there's nothing wrong with it. I know she's just trying to make money and get clients. Like, I get it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But my first reaction was like, wow, she actually just needs a really good business coach first. She needs to build the foundation of her business and to understand how to start attracting in the right kind of clients. Here's the thing. All she did was offer me money for referrals. I don't even know what she does. I don't know what makes her different. I don't know what kind of people I would refer to her. And, honestly, and I did look around on her, her pages, her website. I really couldn't tell how her work was much different than, let's say, some of the other people I've worked with who I do refer out, or my clients who I refer out. And here's the thing. My clients get referred out after they've worked with me for a certain amount of time. I do not refer out my clients like the week they start to work with me. I get to know my clients. I get to make sure that they are holding the appropriate space for the kind of work that they're up to. And, it comes to a point in my program where I say, okay, now I'm comfortable referring people to you. And here's the thing. When I refer people to my clients or even my peers or friends or people who I've worked with, I only refer people that make sense. It's not like I'm just referring anybody to make some money off of it. That's not at all. Actually, most of the people I refer, I do not make a dime from, like 99%. The referral fees that I do collect, which are on my resources page, are things like affiliates for, classes or, a program online, usually very low ticket items as well. But when it comes to doing this kind of deep work, there's definitely a better way to grow your business than asking people to just shout out your business in exchange for money. And especially in the psychedelic healing space, there's this part of me that really questions if this is the right approach, if this is actually the safe approach. Because here's another thing. If I refer people out to random psychedelic facilitators off the internet, what happens if that person I refer has a bad experience or something dangerous happens? Or what if I refer something and then the facilitator has a bad experience, or the therapist or the coach? This goes both ways. So, this is something to really consider within your business. And I personally would take a much different approach, which is exactly what I teach inside of my group programs. I teach a very simple process that really has you build up your business from the root foundation up so that your clients, your potential clients, know exactly who it is you're serving, how you can help them. And that is what makes them want to say yes to you and your offer. It's not just having random people from the internet promote your work for you. And here's the thing, I do teach how to do joint collaborations with other people and build relationships so that you can leverage each other's audiences to grow your audience and grow your business. But I teach it from a very authentic, aligned way of really being in the right connection, an authentic connection to other people, not from a place of like, hey, I need clients. Do you want to make some money? There was something about this outreach that felt very off. And I'm sure she's a really good person. I'm sure she does great work. But this is something I just want to call out because it's something we need to start thinking about as the psychedelic space grows. How are you going to trust others? How are people going to trust you? And it doesn't matter if you're doing facilitation or underground therapy, or you're doing psychedelic integration or some combination, or even microdose coaching. You're still working with people in a very vulnerable, activated space. And it's going to be very important for all of us, including the entrepreneurs and including the potential clients, to do your due diligence when it comes to collaborations and working with other people, and really knowing, who do you want to work with? Where is that trust going to be built? And how are you going to build that trust with your potential clients so that they follow you, they pay attention to what you say, and then eventually they say yes to what it is you want to offer or what you're offering. And here's the thing, this trust factor is not something that comes from just one direct message on social media. This trust factor comes from this depth of your soul. And this is what we go deep into inside of my group mastermind program, where this kind of business, especially for those of you working in the psychedelic space, this kind of business is not marketing. This is not business as it was in the old school paradigm of, well, I'm just going to market like crazy and sell. You are here doing work, dealing with people's very fragile egos and traumas. And this is not the kind of business that just grows by asking people to share it or running ads or promoting it like hell on social media. This is about creating a deeper connection with your potential clients and being able to effectively communicate very clearly why you're going to help them and how your work is different, so that they start paying attention and checking you out and listening to what you have to say. And eventually, yes, then there's a point where maybe they go and book a call. Maybe they explore working together. Maybe they still want to keep an eye on you for another 6 months. And eventually they say yes. But here's the thing. When you're dealing with this kind of work at such a deep soul level, we really have to remember that this is not just little like old school marketing as usual. This is you really being centered and grounded and embodied in your heart and soul, and being able to communicate from this pure place. And the more I've seen this in my clients, the more I've seen them get clients, make money, and grow their business. And when I say pure place, it's from this deep place of really like being in your clear channel. And this is a lot of the work that we do inside of my mastermind program. Yes, I do teach you step-by-step business strategies. And yes, there are actually effective ways to do marketing, to do sales, to build your audience, to get your work out there, to step into your leadership and put yourself out there as a leader in the psychedelic and healing space. But all of these have to be done from this pure, deeper, clearer place of really knowing who you are and how you are different and what makes what you're bringing to the table special, and why will it attract in those people and maybe not those people. Because that's where it's at, is you want to attract in who exactly you feel called to work with the most. And you want to build the trust and build the relationships with these potential clients, with your own community that you are creating. And over time, the more you do this and the more consistent you are and the more you show up and the more effective you are at learning how to build that trust and connect and communicate with your community and your audience, that is what will continuously grow you. And it grows at an exponential rate. And when you do this right from the very beginning with the foundations of your business built, you will never need to go ask the random person on the internet to be a random referral for you and pay them money as a kickback. And there's just something about this when it comes to psychedelic healing, or even like any kind of trauma, somatic work, like womb wisdom, sacred sexuality, tantra, death coaching, like all these realms that a lot of my clients go into. This isn't the kind of work that you just want to be spewing out there on the internet and have random people promoting it for you, because it could backfire in your face and it could potentially backfire for them as well. So I was just inspired to talk about this because this is something we're going to have to really pay attention to more and more as the psychedelic space grows. Who's referring and who are you going to be connected to? And how is it that you're going to stand out and be able to communicate from a place of purity and authenticity and from deep inside your heart and soul, so that people really start to follow you and trust you and then explore working with you versus, hey, so-and-so, do you want to refer clients to me? I'll give you money. There's something just so off about that in this space. But, who knows? We'll see. Again, full disclosure, I do refer people out. I have an amazing resources list on my website. I refer people I've worked with, people who I know and trust, and people who I know who've done the work, who are holding really sacred containers. And, we are all human. Of course, no one's perfect, including me, including you. But these are people who I've built relationships with to the point where I feel very comfortable referring them out and, like knowing that, hey, I can give you their name and trust that they will hold you well versus random person on the internet. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. If you want to learn more about any of my upcoming programs, just check out bethaweinstein.com, Mastermind, Intensive, Private Coaching. And I will see you next week on Tuesday for a new episode. And again, if you're enjoying this podcast at all, we would really appreciate a review on Apple or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thank you so much, and lots of love to you. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're feeling inspired, I'd appreciate it if you showed your love with a review. And check out my YouTube channel where you can find the video version of this podcast. You can also head to bethaweinstein.com to learn more about me and grab my free business growth trainings. Remember, you carry your own unique medicine, and your medicine is what we need for these times.